Doing this reset every year has helped me to gain a deeper understanding of myself, my strengths, weaknesses, values, and priorities. It has helped me to identify what worked well, what didn't, and what truly mattered to me, so that next year I can avoid to make those same mistakes again and again. And overall, it has helped me to remember my life. I can go back to these notes 20 years from now and see how was my life in my 20s. I believe this to be a super important habit because without these intentional efforts, you may find yourself in a situation or routine that actually doesn't bring you fulfillment. You just keep staying stuck where you are right now. In this video, I'll show the specific method I use and also check if I achieved the intention that I set 1 year ago for this year. The first thing to do is pause for a moment, even for a couple of days, just so that you can get out of this headspace of hurrying and working and hustling and everything feels kind of cluttered in your mind. And that's why I believe that the holiday period is perfect for this, because many times you can get out of your normal life situation and feel a little bit more relaxed. During the new year time is usually very optimal. That's why I do it now. Then reflect on the past year. What were your goals? What were your accomplishments? What did you learn? What were the best moments and the worst moments? What challenges did you face? Understanding these will help you to make informed decisions for future, for next year, so that you can clearly identify the things that you learned, the things that went well, and you can write them down so that you don't forget these lessons. What helps me a lot in this is to write them in different kind of areas of life, so I don't just think of my life in general, in total. It might be a little bit hard to identify those things, but then if I think of, for example, my social life, what were the lessons learned there? What were the good things? Or my mental health, my physical health, some hobbies that I had. How I then packaged everything, all of this together, is by doing a concept called naming the year. Basically, I give a name to each year. It will be called like the year of X or the X year. And in that, I give the name, what in my opinion explains that year the best, and also then write a few sentences why I gave that name and what were the biggest things that happened that year. In my opinion, this is a great way to kind of summarize the whole year into something that is very easy to read and go back to. Of course, you could take just a certain angle to that summary, talking just about your relationship, for example, or something big that happened, or you could take very general, like how did the year go overall. I usually try to go towards the overall the whole year, but then if there were something really specific that happened that kind of shaped the whole year, it felt like the biggest thing, then I will focus more on that. Exactly 1 year ago, I set the intention for this year that now passed. And my intention was this. For 2023, it will be the year of co-creation. What does that mean is that I don't anymore believe that I can make all the little decisions in my life and those will happen. I feel like I will co-create with the universe. I need to trust the process. When I set this focus, what was on my mind was just basically the spiritual area of life. I wanted to co-create with the universe, but I realized now that by setting that intention, it became so much bigger thing than what I initially thought and expected. Spiritually, I was going with the flow pretty much all year, listening to that intuition, not rushing to things, not forcing things, really keeping that connection to myself and to the universe. I was constantly trying to make space for new ideas, new activities, new something that felt right. But it became just so much bigger than these things. Like physically, for example, I was co-creating by getting a coach. I wasn't anymore fully just trying to do myself everything, like all the exercises and diet things and everything. I co-created with a coach. Good exercises, good diet together. I don't have to do fully that by myself. Emotionally as well, I got a therapist for some months just to talk about things that were bothering me, and I felt like it's easier to talk to somebody who is professional and who can give me new ideas. And even though therapy is mainly just you speaking, it's excellent if the therapist can ask you like good questions, deep questions. And I felt like this person was able to do exactly that. Challenged me without really telling me what to do or challenging me to do something physical, but mentally asking just questions that really make me think and reflect on my life, on my choices, and understand my own values and myself better. With friends and family, I did these spontaneous trips, which I believe that is co-creation. I co-created these experiences, something that I hadn't planned before. Also an experience to fix an RV to something really cozy and nice. And then with you, the subscribers, Sonic High Journey people, I did something. I've been co-creating something, and it's gonna be published a few months from now. But it was a very nice experience, or has been. It hasn't ended fully yet, but it has been very nice that even though this is my channel, my brand, by understanding you better, by co-creating something with you, I will be able to help you better. So for me, it's very safe to say that this intention that I set, I achieved it, and I'm very happy to stay with this name that I gave. So the year of co-creation, I feel like it explains very well what happened. If you feel like yours didn't go as planned, you set an intention, but that didn't happen, which many times happens, sometimes even something better happens than what you expected, you should change the name. It should feel right. You shouldn't just stick with something if it doesn't feel like it's really the right choice, because then, let's say in 10 years you go back to read this, you might not remember it because it's not powerful. So also taking time to think about this name that you give is very important. And then the last part of this yearly reset for me is to give the name for next year, to set the intention, because when you give the name, when there is that intention, it's so much more likely to happen. It's the law of attraction. I'm sure you're familiar with the concept. And this should be based on what matters to you truly, focusing on your values and that it aligns with those, and also your long-term focus, your long-term vision. Where do you want to go? Even though it would be like a shorter time span of a year, still it's part of something bigger, how you want your life to look like. I took some time to think, what name do I want to give for next year? What is the intention that I want to set? After thinking about it for quite some time, I came up with the name, The Breakthrough Year. And immediately it felt like it clicked. This is it. This is the intention that I want to set. So again, let's see what will happen now the intention has been set. If you want to know more about this concept, I explain it better in last year's video that you can find here. Also in that one, I share all the names of my past years starting from like 2012. So it's a very interesting video to watch. Remember to stay kind and meaningful in your own beautiful journey. See you there.